Thank you and welcome. This is the Project Management Professional, in other words, PMP Examination Prep Course. Forgive me for my video. I'll just keep it off for right now. I understand it is the first time we are interfacing, but then my lighting is not quite good. I tried turning it on and it is not really that quite good. But hopefully during the course of the class, we will be able to have the video interface so that we can have a more lively discussion. Also meeting for the next 1.5 hours. We are going to be talking about several things about the PMP exam prep course. And we have a very simple agenda here that we are going to follow. We are going to start with an introduction of NewSkill and also the instructor. Then in that regards also we shall have an introduction of the students, the people who are present today. Then we shall talk about this course. So what is this course all about? Then we shall have an overview of what the PMP certification actually is. Then we shall also lay out for you the roadmap that we are going to use for you to become PMP certified. Then we shall talk briefly about the PMP exam, because this is the whole reason why we are here, right? We want to know how we can prepare for the PMP exam and how we can pass it, then become PMP certified. Then within us, I've also invited one of our previous students who trained with us and also have taken his PMP exam and passed with flying colors, of course, and he will be able to share his testimonial, what his journey was like, beginning from his training with NewSkill and up till when he actually became PMP certified. So when that time comes, you'll be able to, ask him about what his journey actually was. Then we shall open up a Q&A session at the end of the discussion and a call for us to commit to the next upcoming journey. So in that regards, allow me to open up tonight's discussion with about the instructor. So once again, this is the PMP instructor-led, meaning there is an instructor who is actually teaching the class, and most especially it is live, meaning you're not studying on your own. There is someone who is actually guiding you, and it is a preparation course for the PMP exam. So a little bit about myself. My name is Bosco Odong, PMP. Now those are the 3 initials ascribed to my name because I am PMP certified. And aside from being PMP certified, I am also authorized by PMI to instruct the PMP course. There are a select few of authorized PMP instructors within Uganda. So I am happy to be an instructor and a coach as well at NewSkill Uganda. NewSkill Uganda is an organization that specializes in training, research, and consultancy. So me majorly most of the time, I am helping you ensure that you prepare for your PMP exam and you pass. Aside from only offering courses within the PMI certifications, we also offer trainings in project management tools and softwares. For example, Primavera P6. We also offer trainings in tools like the Microsoft Project and Advanced Microsoft Excel for project planning and controls. We also offer trainings in contracts management, most especially the FIDIC contracts, which is one of the renowned contracts we know within construction. And of course, several other tailored courses in leadership, depending on what you may want. So when you visit our website, but currently it is down because it is under maintenance, you'll be able to even request for tailored trainings to align with your current needs. Today is not about talking about NewSkill or about myself, but allow me just a moment. And in regards to my contacts, you can reach me on that contact and also on bosco.odong@newskillug.com. That is my email address. And also on LinkedIn, when you search out for me or you use that link, you'll be able to find me. I am active on LinkedIn, always posting about the PMP exam prep course and the exam itself. I like also to share discussions in regards to contracts management, project controls with Primavera P6, and quite a lot of things. So I have a bachelor's degree in building economics that is from Chambogo University, and also a postgraduate diploma in project planning and management from UMI, Uganda Management Institute, and currently, of course, pursuing my master's of business administration, also with UMI. I have about 5 years of experience within construction. So most of the time when I interface with people, they'll be like, "But you're so young. How comes, you've been in all of these projects?" Uh, Recently, I have been a planning specialist for the contractor on the ECO project. That is a construction of the 1,440 kilometer oil pipeline, electrically heated oil pipeline from Uganda to the Tanga port. And I've also been a contractor's QS on the Tilenga well pads project, where the drilling of the oil is happening, where I was working with Motor Angel. I've also happened to be the client's engineering coordinator for a U Forever water factory that is being built here in Kamdini or Yam. And of course, if you had the opportunity, perhaps you have tested the U Forever water, so pure. I've also had the opportunity of being a contractor's QS for a short duration on the Karuma Employers Permanent Camp project. Those are where the employers are sleeping as they wake up to go and work and ensure that the country has electricity. I've also had the opportunity to work as a contractor's QS on the Pearl Marina Estates Development Project, where we're building about 360 apartment units at the shores of Lake Victoria. And of course, several other projects that I've been part of that I cannot mention all. Over the years, since I became PMP, authorized PMP instructor, I've instructed in excess of over 100 students, many which have gotten certified. And I've also trained, aside from all the NewSkill, I've also trained with other authorized training partners like Hebo in Tanzania, Fast Forward Academy in South Africa, and currently I'm still engaged with Fast Forward Academy in South Africa. So sometimes we organize joint sessions with them, and we can as well learn from them. Just I think recently they organized a free session for the CAPM and the PMP certification, the construction professional certification, and some of our team here from NewSkill also had the opportunity of joining them. I'm also a member of the PMI global body of project professionals, but I also subscribe to the local chapter, which is PMI Uganda chapter. So professionally, they call us quantity surveyors. We are quantity surveyors. So I also subscribe to the Institute of Surveyors of Uganda, known as ISU. And I also love the profession of alternative dispute resolution. I'm an associate, chartered associate with CIR, that is Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. So that is a little bit about my profession, but for the next 6 weeks, I will be sharing quite a lot of insights and experience from my projects, and of course, I'll be learning from your experiences on your projects as well. But I will be guiding our discussions for the next 6 weeks on the PMP content that we shall be studying. So I believe that at least gives you a picture of who I am. Then on this side, of course, is a selfie of myself, a portrait. Uh, at that point in time, I think I used to love glasses, but nowadays I'm not putting on those glasses. So, but it is still me though. So with that said, briefly, that is about myself. I now just want to welcome each of every participant also to introduce themselves to us. So this is an opportunity to tell us what your name is, what is your education background, and currently what organization are you working on and in which job role, what experience, what is your project experience or years of experience working within your discipline. And this is the part where I want you to answer us. Why the PMP certification? And what are your expectations of this class? Because the whole point is for us to set momentum and be able to deliver to your expectations or even actually exceed. All right. Then I like also to know about your hobbies. So this is a way of knowing about the fun part of your life. So I always keep forgetting that. Me personally, I'm a fan of music. I love playing music. So most of the time when we start our classes, before the classes start, we will have some music session. Hopefully you like those kind of musics that we shall be playing. I'm also someone who likes reading and literally researching, so discovering new stuff. I'm a fan of that. I also like, hanging out and being with friends, most especially if it is about visiting new places. It quite interests me. So there is quite a lot about myself, but that is briefly what I can tell you. So I don't know who's going to be the first. Let's see who our lucky person for the night is, the person who is going to open the discussion, right? So I think I'll welcome, I don't know whether Mr. Emma is in. Uh, oh, I think Mr. Emma is not in. So I think I'll let Brenda open up the introduction. Yes, so you're welcome, Madam Brenda.
All right, thank you, our instructor. My name is Akankunda Brenda. I'm into oil and gas. I'm a graduated last year. And I have been, a few years ago, I've been on oil and gas project, like the Ginger Storage Terminal. And why I have decided to take up the PMP certification is that in the industry of oil and gas, project management skills are really important. So I expect that at least at the end of this project that we are undertaking for getting PMP certified, I will have acquired the skills that will enable me, at least maybe in future, take up the project manager role in oil and gas industry. That's my dream. Not only that, also as a person, I would like to grow my own businesses. Of course, these will be projects. I don't want to do them just as
Yes,
normal
Mr.
people,
Emma.
but I really want to be applying
We have
project
an
management
orientation session
skills
today. I don't know whether you'll be able to
because
attend.
I know that project management skills are always
It's
leading
okay.
us
You will
to
still get
organized work.
the recordings though.
We can be able to track each and every activity
No problem.
that we pursue in our
It's yeah.
project, and in so
Okay.
we shall be having smart work. So
Yes.
my hobbies, I like to interact with people. I'm a friendly person. I also like to party. I like to party. If there is a party, just call me, we shall party. Thank you very much. I'll be here to catch up with you guys.
Thank you.
You're all welcome, as I'm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is Brenda Kankunda. And Brenda attended one of our sessions last year, but of course she didn't sit. And she's going to be also joining the rest of the team to have a refresher, understanding that the PMP exam has changed. So it is better to go attempt the PMP exam fully aware. And also Brenda is also associated with us, and that is why maybe within our communications you may be able also to see her if you're receiving mails. So hopefully maybe within in the next few weeks you'll be interacting with her during the class. Thank you so much, Brenda. All right, so I'm going to do gender balance here. So ladies and then maybe gents, something like that. But I think it will be hard because we have few ladies. So maybe I can just have all the ladies first. You know, they say ladies first. So I will therefore welcome Rachel. Rachel, if you're there, you can unmute and also introduce yourself. If situation permits, maybe perhaps we can also see your face, and turn on your video, but that is optional. So you're welcome, Rachel.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Kobutunji Rachel. A bit about my education background. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Real Estate Business Management at Makerere University Business School. Then I also upgraded with a postgraduate diploma in project planning and management at UMI. About my job, I've been working with a company called Goji Group Company Uganda Limited under the projects Mirembe Villas projects located in Chigo. I've been there for about 7 years, going on to my 8th. So I started in sales and marketing as a consultant. Then I was upgraded to the assistant marketing and sales department. Still, but under my role, I still do managing of the houses or the projects, because every house is a different project. So about 48 units and 6 blocks of apartments under the same company. So I handle the project management side. That's the reason why I actually upgraded with a postgraduate in project planning and management, so that I can better have an idea of what I was doing in the role. So my project experience, I think I have talked about it. I handle project management department with the Mirembe Villas projects. Why PMP? I'm really passionate about project management. When the passion grew actually before I even knew what it was, until I discovered it's actually project planning and management. Yes, so I would really want to upgrade my career in the future, of course. So that is why I would really want to have the professional knowledge so that I can better have the skill to be able to handle even bigger projects. I'm also starting up my own company, which is a project management company. So I feel that if I have the project management profession, I can better understand how to provide the service, especially in the real estate sector in the country, because it is not growing as it's supposed to. So I feel like I would want to make change in the country so that we can also have better experience, better living. Yeah, basically a bit about it. Also my expectations of the class, I think I've merged it together. With that, my hobbies, I love music so much. I also love to travel. Yeah, basically those are the top 2: music and traveling. Yeah,
Thank you
and
so
making
much.
friends.
Thank you. That is Rachel Kobutunji. Thank you for joining us for this session. I know about the Mirembe Villas. It is one of a marvel as far as real estate and of course luxury living is concerned. So you have done good work there. Keep up. And you can see she is already a fan of music. So you'll find that quite a lot of people love music, and you don't know about that. All right. So now that the ladies are done introducing themselves, I'm now going to welcome the gentlemen. And I want to start with Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, if you're there, you can unmute and also tell us about yourself so we can know you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Charles Welhewanditi. I have a Master's of Science in Information Technology. I work with the Electoral Commission and I'm a Principal Election Officer in IT Information Technology Department. We run many of our tasks in project format. And that's why I got motivated. I said, well, I need to up my skill. And that's why I'm doing this PMP certification.
Yes.
Yeah, and my hobbies, I've heard everybody loves music. Actually, I play the music. I am an instrumentalist. I can play keyboard, I can play all
Wow.
instruments. I will play it for you.
That's great. That's great. To have an instrumentalist among us, isn't that a blessing? You know, I've always envisioned myself being able to play guitar, but I know that is just a dream. Perhaps I can take on that as a project and learn. I don't know. The last time I tried, it was not easy. So thank you for having you here, Charles, from Electoral Commission, and of course, election has always been one of the biggest projects within our land. So you can see why it is important for Charles to have the project management professional certification. Thank you for joining us, Charles. Hope this journey will be nice with you as we also learn from your experience because you have a very deep level of knowledge and experience that we can also tap into.
Thank you.
All right. Also, I'm going to welcome this time who is going to be next. I'm just following in order so I don't miss out. Yes, the next is Brian, Mr. Brian Akesima. So if you can just unmute, you can also tell us about yourself in the same spirit. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm called Brian Akesima. I hold a bachelor's degree in construction management, and I'm currently.
Oh, Brian,
in
you
terms
are
of
dropping.
experience, I have 10 years. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. You had just told us you have a background in construction management. Yes.
Yes. I have 10 years of experience in the construction industry. I've worked both on roads and oil and gas. I'm currently working with brand engineering. I'm a project manager. And of course, my expectations, one, of course, I want to enhance my credibility considering that PMP is globally recognized. And of course, I also want to better understand and get skills on how to manage construction risks and much more. And in terms of hobbies, maybe traveling and exploring new places. That's something I love to do, but with the kind of work that we do, it's a bit limited, but it's something that I love to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is Brian. Brian has also an in-depth knowledge in construction management. Brian is my friend. The last time we met, we were on the Tilenga Well Parts project, and he was deliberating as one of our site managers. He's quite accomplished, if I may say. So we'll be lucky also to have him within this class where we can learn about, some of his experience as we share on this globally recognized framework for project management. So thank you so much, Brian. Okay, so up next, we also have Tushabe Celsius. So Celsius, you can also join us and introduce yourself so that we may also know you. You're welcome. Thank you. Do we have Mr. Tushabe Salsas? You can unmute if you're there. And you can introduce yourself so we can know. Okay, as we wait on Salsas. Oh, yes, you're here. You're welcome.
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Tushave Selsas.
Yes.
And I have a bachelor's in civil engineering. And so 2 years experience. So I'm still young in the industry. But I've been a bit lucky. I've been exploring a few roles here and there. Currently, I'm working with Finasi, and I'm a site engineer on one of their sites here in Namangwe. Project experience, I think I'm already on number 4, right? Yes. One of my aspirations is to head a project in the top management, like project manager, I really look up to that at some time, and that's why I chose this course. You realize I've been quite off in our chats, but I guess after here we're going to talk more. I told you what has been holding me back.
Yes.
So I'm choosing this certification because I believe it's going to add a lot on my knowledge. I still feel like there's a huge gap that I really want to work on, and I wish to work on it as I get certified in it. Then in this course, I expect to learn all of that. I expect to apart from this course itself, I expect to connect up with who are now my course-mates here. We get to share more knowledge, keep in touch. I've seen Brian Akesima here, Mr. Brian Akesima, who is already a project manager, but he's also here with us. So why not me, who's still young in the in this in this industry. So I also hope to connect up. Apart from getting knowledge, I also hope to link up with my mates here, share experiences, and become better planners and better decision makers.
True.
Yeah. My hobbies. Yeah, one of them is I like going to the gym so much.
That's great.
Gym, music,
Yes.
gym, music, swimming. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your introduction. We are happy to have you. And there is something that Mr. Sauces drew, and it is important. I want to react on that. Now, within this class, of course, we are not just here to study and get sit and pass the PMP and become certified, but this is also an opportunity to meet people, to share ideas. Uh, because we believe that through this course, through these classes, we are creating a community of people who have the same interest. So that is why everyone who is interested, we try as much as possible to ensure that after the end of the class, you can continue with the discussion by forming study groups. We convert these groups to study groups. Have a study buddy, that can push you maybe where you are losing morale. All right, so thank you so much for that, our chief gym person. All right, so who next? I can see we have Mr. Arnold. Yes, so let us welcome Arnold also to briefly introduce himself to us so that we can also know you. You're welcome, Arnold.
Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
My name is Musoke Arnold. Going to my education background, my primary bachelor's degree is in building economics, or also known as quantity surveying. When it comes to the organization and job role, project management, quantity surveying, contract administration, basically also the general management and administration. It depends on the environment. On one project I can be a quantity surveyor, on the next I'm a project manager. So sometimes I lead, sometimes I follow, sometimes I'm a consultant. Project experience, roughly 7 to 8 years. My employment has majorly been within projects, and my practice has also been within projects. The organization currently, I'm running my own. It's called Spema Engineering Limited. So basically it is freelance and also running this. Why PMP certification? Basically it improves the skills. That's 1. 2, I'll go with credibility. 3, competitive advantage. 4, marketability. So basically it's a good thing to have. Then what do I expect from the class? I expect a deliverable, and that deliverable is the certification. Then what my hobbies are. That is a work in progress. As projects are, I'm also a bit dynamic. Today I like this, after a few years I want something else. So we're always evolving. Basically, that's me.
Great, and thank you. That is Mr. Arnold, and he's also from the construction sector. He has been part of quite a lot of projects, and he continues to lead projects to date. As you can hear, he has pointed out to a concept that is very important, both in life and within projects, that environments are dynamic. So sometimes you keep changing. And I think that is the inherent nature of humans. If you create a 10-year, goal or plan, it is very likely that, in the next 5 or 6, you may want something else, but that is totally fine. Thank you for joining us. And also, Arnold is one of our students who trained under the old PMP exam, but then didn't have the time to sit because he was quite engaged on other projects and endeavors. So he's joining us here as a refresher so that he can sit under the new PMP examination. Okay, I don't want to miss anyone. I think we have Mr. Mpamize Gordon. So let me welcome Mr. Gordon to also share with us. You're welcome.
Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening.
I'm Gordon Mpamize. Mpamize is a public health specialist, and I work with the Joint Clinical Research Center where we do HIV research and any other medical research. But I did a project, and that project is a health strengthening project where we are supporting hospitals. And the key area here is ensuring they attain the international accreditation, but also ensuring that we respond. I mean, the teams can respond to emerging and emerging diseases like Ebola. So I think myself, I've done this PMP through the same pathway like you colleagues you're doing. So my hobbies really are not so much different from colleagues, but I do charity, a lot of charity, the little resources I do have. But also, I'm a man of soccer, which I do play, but also support Arsenal.
Yes. Which team are you supporting for the champions? How do they call it? World Championship, the World Cup.
We are supporting the Africa of Europe, so we are there.
The France. All right, thank you so much. That is Mr. Gordon. He leads projects within the health sector. As you heard him, they are at the center of ensuring that these emerging and re-emerging diseases are handled. So he has taken the class with us, and he sat for his PMP and passed. So today he's also here to share his testimony that you're going to have at the end of the day. So also in the same spirit, as we wrap up on the introductions, I'm also going to welcome Mr. Tadeo. So you can as well just introduce yourself and tell us about yourself. Then we shall have a time dedicated for you also to share your testimony with us. You're welcome, Mr. Todd.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm glad to be a part of NewSkill again. It's an honor for me. As indicated, my name is Tadeo. I have a bachelor's degree in art with education. I'm a compliance specialist and recently PMP certified. I'm currently also taking on the supply chain specialist certification, CSCP, to also earn that international certification. About my career background, I have experience of about 12 years. I taught for 2 years, then I switched to banking and finance, more especially in the forex and remittance subsector. I've been part of a number of projects. I started Davinet Forex Bureau, currently having 2 branches. I was
one of the initial directors of the Hub International Forex Bureau, and then Bold Forex Bureau, all still operational. I also was the project lead in the Tilenga Lasedri Forex Bureau project, which is also currently operational. After that, I went to Dubai as a financial consultant, but on reaching there, I found a new hobby in the e-commerce. Then I joined a company called Noon, which is an e-commerce company. I continue to do auditing for Lasedri and some bit of my like project support and management, but from afar, by the team on ground. In case of any management related challenges, they always reach out to me for support. My hobbies, I like football. And then I like baking so much. So those are some of my hobbies.
Yes.
Yeah, expectations. Maybe I know you will get the best from Mr. Odong. He's just the best in this thing. So definitely, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was about to say, if you are indeed someone who likes football, you don't call it soccer, right? The Americans call it soccer, but we play with the foot, and so Mr. Gordon is playing soccer. But nonetheless, thank you so much, Mr. Tadeo. So with that, I think I'm done with introductions. It was important that we spent all this time just to get to know ourselves. Because that helps when we build that rapport early. It helps within the course to ease that environment and create an environment where we can easily interact. I want you to be able to ask questions, to connect with the people, which helps in boosting the effectiveness of this training session. All right. Hopefully, I've not missed on anyone. There's another gentleman who was supposed to be joining us. He's called Emmanuel. So maybe I can just give a little bit brief introduction about Emmanuel. He's traveling. I think he's caught up and he could not join us, but he's also part of our class. Emmanuel also have a background in quantity surveying. He also did a bachelor's degree in quantity surveying from Makerere University, and he worked on quite a lot of projects. Hopefully, with time, he'll be able to tell us. And I think he has over 6 years of experience as well within construction industry, where he's majorly working. I don't know for about his hobbies and the rest, but hopefully we shall get to know him. So just have that in mind. Then also we'll be joined by another participant. Her name is Elizabeth Nachiria. She works with the UN at Entebbe. So when she joins us, she'll be able also to tell us about her hobbies. Okay, so thank you so much for the introduction. Let us now enter into what about this course. So what should we know about the PMP prep course? Now, I first want to start with the learning topics or the structure of this course. This course was designed by PMI to be delivered within 35 hours. So the 35 hours which is required for you to apply for the PMP examination. And the learning topics in the training comes directly from what we call the PMP Certification Examination Content Outline, which we are going to know about this in a short while. So the PMP exam comes from the examination content outline. So that is what defines the PMP exam. And what will happen also during the course of this training, we will be showing clearly the examination content outline, which aligns with a specific topic. So if we are discussing a topic, we shall let you know that this topic aligns with this part of the PMP examination content outline. Now, as part of your training or your study material, you're also going to receive the PMP examination content outline. I know you might have not yet received it, but after this orientation and after we agree on how the class is going to move forward, you'll definitely receive this. I think you'll receive access to the drive where you can download all these things. And about the PMP examination content outline, it was created by a select community or group of PMI members. These are the people who also hold the PMP certification, but they work in diverse industries. So the PMP is not made specifically for a specific sector or a discipline. Project management happens in every sector, in every industry. All right. So the PMP is a framework that can guide project management, regardless of the framework, regardless of the business context that you find yourself operating in. So that is a little bit about the PMP examination content outline. Now, the organization of the course. This course is made up of 9 lessons. Now, the first lesson is about introduction, and this is what we're going to cover today. Somehow, the introduction is being covered within this session. And the second lesson is the big picture. Here we shall introduce the domains. We shall introduce the 3 domains. We will talk about the life cycle, the different project life cycles, and we shall talk about governance. Project governance is very, very important. Then the third lesson we shall look at is on stakeholders, setting a vision and communicating this vision and handling communication within the life of your project. The fourth lesson is on team, managing conflict within the team and also managing knowledge on a project. And the fifth lesson is on now the core planning, planning for the scope, planning for value delivery, planning for the resources, planning for your financials, planning for risks. Now, the reason why it is important to plan for value, because the definition of a project over the years has been evolving. That is why we see a shift from the old PMP exam to the current PMP exam. The definition of a project has changed. It usually used to be, a project is a temporary endeavor to create a unique product, service, or result, which is true. But now the focus has now changed to value. A project is now being defined as a temporary endeavor that is being taken to create value. So it is no longer about creating a service, but value. That is what matters. Then lesson 6 will be on now integrated planning, where we plan on the methodology of how we're going to deliver the project. We also plan on schedule, we plan on quality, plan on procurement, and we therefore now bring together all of these subsidiary plans to create one big project management plan that guides us on delivery. And lesson 7 is on execution. After planning, you enter into execution, doing the actual work. During this time, you're monitoring and controlling quite a lot of areas within your project. You're handling changes and also issues and impediments. Then lesson 8 will be on business environment. The focus to business environment has become so important. There is no way you can be a good project manager by simply being very technically astute in today's world, as Mr. Arnold put it, which is very dynamic. It is important that you understand your business environment internally, externally, because being a good engineer is good, but then navigating the complexities that comes with the external forces is more important. And if you're to deliver value, meaning you have to deliver within the business environment. We shall talk about continuous improvement and project closure as well. Then we will wrap with lesson 9, where now we will talk about getting ready for the for the test, for the PMP mock exam, which we do internally, and also getting ready for the exam itself. So these are the 9 lessons that composes this PMP exam prep course. I also want to talk about some of the course icons. You're going to be seeing some of these icons. These are what we're calling icons within our presentation slides and also in the handouts that you'll receive. Now, these 3 icons represent the life cycle. We call them the life cycle icons. They help to highlight and to differentiate concepts which are typical to that life cycle. So when you see this icon, whatever we're talking about on that slide or in that line or in that paragraph is in regards to the predictive life cycle. I'm not going to go to the depth of what this is. These are all within the class. Then remember this icon, these aligns with adaptive life cycle, and these align with hybrid life cycle. And some other icons, like this is an important icon, this is a question icon, interactive icon, discussion, use expert judgment, take note, tools and techniques, and definitions. All right. So all these, you'll encounter them within your handout. So I want you to understand so that when you see them, you know what they actually mean. Then let's talk about the standard way of managing projects. Now that we've defined the project as a temporary endeavor undertaken to create value, there are very many ways that projects can be managed. If we trace back to the origins of project management, you realize that projects has been in existence since time past. You know, during the construction of the Great Pyramids, during the construction of the Great Wall of China, and so on and so forth. The aqueducts. Project management has been evolving over the years, up to this point where we have created a standard framework within which we can manage different projects. And this is called the PMBOK, managing projects the PMBOK way. PMBOK refers to Project Management Body of Knowledge. And also, you're going to receive what we call the PMBOK Guide, which is the 8th edition, the latest edition of the PMBOK Guide, which is the standard for managing projects, okay? And also a guide on the body of knowledge of projects. All this, you'll be able to acquaint yourself when we start the project. So why is it important that we manage project in a standardized way? Why could it be important that you're doing things in a standardized way? So project management is important because, first of all, you need project management to create value. You cannot deliver projects without project management. Project management is the application of the knowledge, the skills, to complete those activities so that we can create value. So the beauty with managing projects the PMBOK way or the standard way is that we will be able to adopt some of the best practices that have been accepted globally. Then this also helps us standardize project management processes. And most importantly, it guides project managers globally. So the benefit of the PMBOK way or the PMBOK way of managing projects is that it will offer us consistency. So if you've learned the PMP and you've mastered the PMBOK framework, which is a framework which is globally accepted, you'll be able to understand knowledge that a fellow project professional is speaking regardless of the geographical location you find themselves. For example, someone who is certified in Japan can speak the same project management language to someone who is certified within Africa or within USA. That is the beauty. Also, this will improve performance when we standardize our processes. It will also, the benefits of using PMBOK framework, it is globally recognized. So meaning you will have better governance within your project. So the different knowledge areas that you as a project manager, you'll be managing every day within your project, and the PMBOK framework addresses this. These are areas like scope management, schedule management, cost management, risk management, quality management, stakeholder management, procurement management, communications management. So you can see as a project manager, you are actually managing all these areas of your project. You cannot say, for me, I'm now going to manage only the schedule. I want to deliver the project on time without having to worry about the rest. All these are interlinked. So you have to have a holistic approach on how you manage all these areas. This brings us back to the PMBOK, which stands for the Project Management Body of Knowledge. And it is a globally recognized standard that is developed by Project Management Institute. So some of the skills of a modern day project manager, for you to be able to succeed in your role as a project manager, as I told you before, you will not need only technical skills. You need leadership skills. You will also need strategic business skills. So this brings us to what we call the PMI talent triangle. The PMI talent triangle, these are the three different areas that you as a project manager, you're expected to be competent within for you to actually deliver on your project. These are the ways of working. The ways of working align to your technical skills, the ability to get the work done, the different processes that you complete so that you can get work done. Power skills, these relate to the personality side. These are also called people skills. How do you handle people? Projects without people, that is not projects, right? And business acumen, organizations, are looking at projects as a driver for business change. They are looking at projects as a driver for strategic achievement of strategic goals and objectives. So it is important that you understand not only your project, but the environment or the business influences around your project. Understanding the external environment around your project as well. This falls under what we call business acumen. For example, it would be very good if you know everything about oil and gas engineering, the technical bit. But imagine you don't understand the supply chain management, the impact of geopolitical wars on your project. Now, these are the concepts of business acumen. Recently faced trouble where when the Straits of Hormuz was closed, many people around the world felt that shock. A war which is happening far away from you, but yet it can affect your project right here in Uganda. So some of the competencies that you're going to build as a project manager, these are not exhaustive, but it may include communication. We are always told that 80% of the time on your project, you're going to spend communicating. Leadership, you need leadership skills. Negotiation, every day you're going to be negotiating, maybe with the schedule or negotiating for finances, negotiating with the stakeholders, negotiating with the local authorities, and so on and so forth. Problem solving. Without problems, there is no need for projects. And the only reason why you're actually hired is to solve a problem, right? So you have to have problem solving skills. You're going to be managing risks. Reward is only a result of the existence of risk. Without risk, there cannot be reward. Time management, team coordination, decision making. You're going to make decisions which may not only affect your project, but can even affect your organization. Some other people are actually even going to make decisions that are going to even affect other organizations. So it is important that you build competencies around those areas, to mention but a few. Now, this therefore brings us to the PMP. If you want to manage your project the standard way, the globally recognized way, if you want to manage your project the PMBOK way, so if you want to follow the PMBOK framework to guide you, to tailor an approach that can let you manage your projects well, the PMP, which is a project management professional, is a good certification that helps you understand the PMBOK framework, but most importantly, it helps validate these competencies that we've talked about. So with the PMP certification, you're able to validate that you have the competencies that you're claiming you have. Okay? Because we know organizations today, they need professionals who can lead teams, who can deliver projects successfully, within time, with the best quality, within the budget that has been assigned, by following all the laws and regulations of the country and remaining compliant with the internal policies. They also need people who can adapt to changing environments. You've heard from my friend Tadeo. He was able to metamorphosize over the years. That is what a project manager should be capable of doing, because when you understand that the environment is always changing, just like we had Mr. Arnold talked about, you'll be able to adapt to these changes and you'll be able to thrive. Organizations or people who are naive and cannot adopt or who are not flexible, most of the time they become obsolete and they are extinct. And also organizations are looking for professionals who can apply global best practices. They don't want to try out new ways of working one after the other. They want to start from a benchmarked position, something that has proven to be working globally. So the PMP becomes a big deal. Also, let us have a short overview of the PMP certification right now. So the PMP stands for Project Management Professional, also abbreviated as a PMP. So this one is some of the trademarks for PMI. The PMP, which is a certification, it is offered by PMI, Project Management Institute. So Project Management Institute is the institution that offers the certification. It is the institution that creates the standards around project management. For example, the PMBOK guide, the Agile Practice Guide, and so many other frameworks. And this PMP is also recognized by many globally as the gold standard certification in project management, and it is accepted across industries and respected by employers globally. Now, I want to talk about why they do recognize this as a gold standard. And I'm going to share this based on an experience of one of the students who attended our class. And when he was introducing himself, he shared the reason why he wants to take the PMP. Unlike any of us, his story was different. On one Saturday, he was invited for an interview. And on that interview, when they interviewed him, of course, he was so overly qualified. This is a gentleman I have personally sat in his class during university. He has lectured me. So there is no doubt he has the knowledge. Also, he has been in the field for quite some time. He has taken over on very many projects. There is no doubt he has the project experience. But yet, the job environment, sometimes they may require to validate or to give proof of those skills. And this time, they needed a project management professional, and he didn't have it. He was checking all the other boxes, but when it came to the certification, he didn't have it. Very lucrative job, gone, just like that. It pained him so much that immediately he started finding out, what is this PMP and how can I get it? Eventually he got it, but it was too late for him. The job was already taken. So hopefully, when the time comes and the opportunity shows up again, he will be ready. So that is why he went for the PMP. So with the PMP, you can be able to demonstrate to your peers, to the organizations you're working for, that you have project management competency, that you have a capability to lead people. And also, it helps you validate the experience that you're claiming and the expertise that you're claiming. But most importantly, with the PMP, you're learning frameworks, you're learning best practices that have been tested and proven at a global scale that it works. So you're not trying out something for the first time. These are knowledge that have been curated over extended periods of time, across diverse disciplines or industries and sectors. PMI was established in 1969. Just think of the wealth of knowledge that they've been curating all over these years. It makes sense that the PMP certification is a gold standard. And the benefits of the PMP: career growth. So you'll have access to better job opportunities, increased competitiveness. We had sales talk about this, higher earning potential. Statistics shows, I think earlier this year, PMI undertook a research, and it found that PMP certified professionals often earn more than the non-certified peers within most of the industries. And also the global recognition of this PMP. Imagine a scenario whereby maybe you have a master's in project management from within the country or from another university. But then these papers may not cross your borders. You may go to, let's say, the UAE or USA or Japan, China, whatever the case may be. They will not know maybe a postgraduate diploma from Uganda, but they know about the PMP. So you can see it helps you bridge that gap because it is recognized in over 200 countries. Professional credibility. Many of us have talked about this. I had Brian talked about it, and I think I also had Charles talk about it. You'll be able to demonstrate commitment and competency, not only to your work, but to the professional project management. And improve skills. At the end of this course, I don't expect you to only leave when you're ready to pass the PMP and store a piece of certification, but I want you to leave when you're better off, practically better off. You have enhanced leadership skill, you know better on how you can identify, analyze, and manage risk. You become better at communication, and business acumen increases. So you no longer think at project level or activity level, but you can think at strategic business level. This is what we are going to be looking at. And the PMP grants you just that. Networking opportunities. Just within the class itself, you may be in a class of 5 or 10 people. You're already being exposed to fellow people who are taking the course. Then outside that, when we can expand on that and we go to our network as NewSkill, we have people who are part of the NewSkill community. You have access to this community. Even further, you have at local chapter, the PMI Uganda chapter, you have a complete community of project professionals at the national level. And in August, I think we have a national conference. So if you are able, please ensure that you get a ticket so that you can also attend. There you'll be able to meet other professionals with good networking skills. This can open for you doors. So these are networking opportunities. Even at a global stage, we have the global community of project managers. So if you become a member of PMI, you have access to this global community. So the question now is, who can become PMP certified? The first thing is, the first requirement, you have to have 35 hours of project management training. If you don't have that, if you have the CAPM, this is a certification by PMI, you are also qualified to take the PMP exam. Now, the 35 hours of project management training, this is where we are. This is what we are starting. Now, then there are two routes to becoming PMP certified. The first is when you have a diploma. So when you have a diploma, you should have at least 5 years of experience leading projects. Leading projects, not that you should be a project manager. There are different areas within which we can lead projects. You could be leading in regards to the time management, or maybe cost management, communication, stakeholder, risk. There are very many ways. Then there's another route. If you have a bachelor's degree, you need only to have at least 3 years of experience leading projects. Okay, so once you meet this criteria, you can therefore go to this link and you will be able to apply for the PMP. And once it is approved, meaning you'll be able to take the PMP exam. So those are the two things. So by now that you're here, it means you've already met this requirement. So someone may ask, when can I become PMP certified? Now this brings us to the roadmap, the PMP roadmap. These are the 7 steps to getting PMP certified. The first step is the PMP Exam Prep Course. And congratulations, you've already taken the first step. You have enrolled for the PMP Exam Prep Course. The next thing is the knowledge check with PMI. After you complete the course, you'll do a knowledge check with PMI. After that, you'll apply for the PMP exam. Once you apply, you can be accepted immediately. Sometimes you may be selected for audit. If you're selected for audit, complete the audit process. After that, once your application has been approved, pay for the exam, then schedule the exam. Set a date when you want to do it. Then after that, when the day comes, sit and pass your PMP exam. At that point in time, you will become PMP certified. Then after that, it doesn't end. You have to maintain your PMP certification by earning what we call PDUs. But let us look at these steps a little bit more in depth. The first step, the PMP exam prep course. Now, these are 35 hours of learning. And I told you, if you have a CAPM certification, this is what we call Certified Associate Project Management Certification. So if you have this, you are also eligible to apply. Now, the beauty with doing the PMP exam prep course with us is that, first of all, we are authorized instructors with PMI. So meaning you're going to be studying with licensed and latest study materials from PMI. The beauty also, we have flexible study time and methods. We have live classes, we have self-paced classes, we have hybrid classes where we combine both live and self-paced. Self-paced, this is pre-recorded videos, so you get them upfront and you can watch at a convenient time. We also have weekend programs and evening programs, but currently we are running on the weekend programs. We have proven record in our students passing the exam, as you're going to hear some testimonials from them. Also, the affordable course fees, and we also have flexible payment schedule. You don't need to pay 100% of the fees for you to be able to enroll to a class. If you can pay at least 60%, you can start studying, and the remaining balance, you have up to 4 weeks, that is a month. So if you're on employment, by that time you would have received your next salary, then you can clear. Affordable course fees, in that if you compare our training fees with the rest of the training providers within the country, we are the lowest. We are the lowest. We also have a very active WhatsApp study group, and most importantly, we have the real PMP exam simulator. We have about 1,000 plus questions, and recently, after the changes in the PMP exam, we have received about 700 new questions that we're going to add into our question bank. And you can practice with this online, or you can practice with it, also offline. Our course is recorded, so every session is recorded, meaning you are going to receive these session recordings on the drive. You can access and download at any time. Okay, so you can study the PMP prep course with confidence because you're studying with the best people who have been in this thing. As Todd said it, you can trust us. We've been in this. We know how to get you there. The second stage is a knowledge check. After you complete your exam, PMP exam prep course, which is going to take us six weeks, the first thing we are going to have in-class assessments. So during the course, we shall do some assessments. Then at the end of the 6 weeks, we shall do a PMP mock exam. Now, this is something which is like the actual exam to give you a feel of the actual PMP exam. So we shall test you under the real exam environment so that you're ready. You have a feel of what to expect. Then finally, you will log on to pmi.org and you will complete a knowledge check. Now, this is something which is new and they've just introduced it. But we shall guide you through all that. The third process will then be to apply for the PMP exam. After you've completed your knowledge check, do the application, which is free. So you log into pmi.org, create an account. When you create an account, you capture your education background, whether it is a diploma or a degree. After capturing that, you also capture your project management training, the 35 hours. Then after that, you capture your experience. So if it is a diploma, remember you will capture 5 years of experience. If you have a degree, you'll capture 3 years of experience. Now, then there are other details about your name and personal address. Then you also capture that. Then you submit. Once you submit this application, you wait about 3 to 5 business days. Then you'll get feedback from PMI that you have been approved. So what we do, we assist you during the process of this application. We have created an application template that you can pre-fill your information so that when you go to apply, it will be very easy for you. So once you've completed your application, at that point in time, PMI will tell you whether your application is under review or whether your application has been selected for audit. So if your application has been selected for audit, do not worry. This is a random system check. PMI system most of the time randomly picks some applications for audit. Now they'll give you a period of 3 months, 90 days to complete this audit. And within this audit, it is not something much. You will just submit proof of the diploma or the degree that you say you do have. You'll also submit proof of attending the 35 hours of project management training. At this point in time, you'll have the certificate of completion from us. You'll also submit 1 referee for each of the projects that you have logged. So if you put in 3 projects that you are a part of, you'll submit 3 referees. So these referees have to confirm that indeed you are on that project. So meaning you have to inform your references so that they can complete the audit questions that will be sent to their email from PMI. So once the references complete these questions, all is now fine, your application will be approved. But should anything happen and you fail the audit, maybe by any error, one of your referees says that they don't know you are not part of a project, then the audit will fail. Or maybe if after 90 days you have not yet completed the audit process, the audit will also automatically fail. So when that happens, your application will be denied and you'll be suspended for a period of 1 year. So within this 1 year, you cannot apply for the PMP exam. So you have to wait for the 1 year to elapse and you can apply. So that is the audit process. But over the years, we've had very many students. Only 1 student has been selected for the audit process and we handled that quite well. Me personally, during my PMP, I was also selected for audit. It was because I didn't have the right guidance. But with the right guidance, you're rest assured that this process will be seamless. So after that, we are assuming now your application is approved. So once the application is approved, you're going to go log into your account on PMI and you're going to pay for the exam. To pay for the exam, there are 2 ways you can do that. You can pay as a non-member or you can pay as a member. The exam fee for non-members is $575. But if you're a member, you only pay $284. So you can see the discount that members are getting. So now the question may be, what does it take to become a member? To become a member, you simply have to pay the membership fee. The global membership fee is $109, and the local chapter subscription is $30. That is a total of $139. So you can see, if you pay the membership fee of $139, you'll pay the exam fee of $284. That is a total of $423, which is still way below the exam fee for non-members. So if you convert this to Uganda shillings, it's about 1.6 million. That is if I consider an exchange rate of 3,780 Uganda shillings for $1. So you can see the benefit is still great. And the beauty with being a member, you have access to free courses, free content, and quite a lot of things. You have access to PMI's Infinity, which is PMI's AI model. It has been trained with the project management knowledge, standard knowledge, and you can use it to do quite a lot of things. Understanding that the new changes also comes with considerations for artificial intelligence, so you cannot overlook the importance and the value of AI in this AI age. So our recommendation to our students is always to become a PMI member, and to become a PMI member, you don't have to have the PMP. You just pay these fees. Then after that, you can pay and schedule your exam. Then step 6, once you've scheduled your exam, you're going to sit and pass your exam. But how then can you sit your exam? There are 2 ways you can sit your exam. You can sit it at a testing center. Now, these are established centers where you can go and just take your exams. And the beauty with these is that you will have fewer distractions if you're going to be taking at a testing center compared to taking it at home. You also don't have to worry about technology, because the PMP exam requires that you have to have internet, and of course you're using a computer, so there are some technology requirements that have to be met. So the testing center covers that for you. Then also, these testing centers have already been set for testing, so it is quiet most of the time. So you can look for these testing centers. When you're scheduling your exam, you will select these testing centers. Some of the testing centers within Uganda, we have Makerere University, we have Mat Abacus, we have ISBAT. When the time is right, you will know where these testing centers are. Another way of taking the PMP exam is what we call taking it online. Now, you can take it at the comfort of your home. The beauty with this, it is convenient because you can test 24/7, unlike the testing centers which will operate only during day. So meaning you're also going to be using your familiar surroundings, maybe your home office, I don't know, maybe your sitting room, and the flexible scheduling, which is good. But the disadvantage with this, you have to meet your own technological requirements. You have to have a computer, you have to have your own internet, and there is a specific kind of internet speed that they require. So if you cannot meet, you may not be able to take this exam online. But we always recommend our students to take the examination in person at the testing centers. That eliminates, any chances of being pushed out of the exam. Because the disadvantage with sitting the PMP exam online is that in case of any error, let's say, with Uganda, UEDCL, maybe power can go off. You don't have a standby power source, and maybe you don't have a very powerful laptop battery or computer battery to last you the entire exam period, which is about 4 hours. So what will happen if power goes off, or if the internet goes off? You'll be kicked out of the exam. And once you're out of the exam, 30 minutes, and you're not yet back, what happens is that you will forfeit your examination fee. The $284, you will forfeit. You will fail the exam automatically, and you will have to pay again. So we recommend you take the test at the testing center. In case of anything, the testing center takes the risks. All right, they take the risks. And finally, all right, at this point now, once you sit, the 7th last step was once you sit, you pass, you become PMP certified. Now, when you receive your certificate from PMI, be sure to share with us so that we can also celebrate you on our group. We can celebrate you on the PMI Uganda chapter. We have groups. That way we can also add you to PMI Uganda chapter WhatsApp group. And also we can celebrate you on LinkedIn. So that is why you have to share with us your achievement. That is just a little bit in-depth details about your roadmap to becoming PMP certified. Then about the exam that you're going to take, you may be wondering, therefore, I'm going to take the PMP exam. What does it look like? Now, a brief highlight about the PMP exam. The PMP exam is structured in that it has 180 questions. Well, you may be saying, wow. You may be saying, wow, this is a lot of questions. Yes, 180 questions. And you'll take 240 minutes to complete the exam. This is about 4 hours, right? And you'll have, of these 180 questions, 10 questions will be pre-test. Pre-test, these are questions which are unscored. And the whole essence of pre-test is to check on the level of difficulty of the exam. Okay? So that the exam is not so difficult, but also is not so easy. So we want to maintain that level of quality for the exam. And what will happen for these 240 minutes? You're not going to do it in one sitting. You're going to have what we call breaks. So we're going to have 2 breaks. Each break is 10 minutes. Ensure you take this break. Do not abuse the PMP exam by going for the 240 hours without break. You're not a robot, you're not a machine. You need this break to rejuvenate. You need this break to, to get back to your best so that you can come back and continue. So there is no penalty, first of all, for wrong answers when it comes to scoring. And you have to take these 2 10-minute breaks. So after every 60 question, you'll go for a 10-minute break. Then when you come back, you will again do another 60 questions. So when you complete, you go for another 10-minute break. Then you'll do the last batch of 60 questions and the exam is done. So you can see the exam is divided into 3, 60 questions. Altogether, 180 questions. So the 240 minutes is not, rather the 10-minute breaks is not part of the 240 minutes. So if you had 2 10-minute breaks, those are 20 minutes to the 240 minutes, you come up with a total sitting time of 260 minutes for the PMP exam. Okay? And once you submit a section, you cannot go back. So as I was telling you, the PMP exam is broken into 3 sections. The first section is 60 questions. So once you complete the 60 questions, you submit that section and you go for the break. But once that section is completed, when you come after the break for the next section, you will not be able to go back to the previous section. So what we recommend, before you submit a section, review your answers, because if you'll be given the opportunity to review your answers before you submit, so that once it's submitted, it is done. And for the scoring, once you complete your PMP examination, you're not going to receive a pass rate like 70% or 80%. They will simply tell you you have passed or you have failed. Okay, so you receive what we call a certification exam report. For example, something that looks like this. It will have your name, your certification year, your PMI ID when you took the test, and your results. So a pass will start from somewhere about here, maybe 50%, and above. A fail is anything below here. And for you to pass, you have to pass at least in 2 domains, and we are going to talk about what these domains are. We talked about the 3 domains. We are going to talk about it again. Okay, so you're going to receive pass or fail. You're not going to receive the amount of marks you got in the exam. So we've been talking about the PMP exam is based on the PMP examination content outline. So what is this PMP examination content outline? It is a document, and this document will outline the different tasks that you as a project manager, you should have knowledge in, and those tasks, those are the areas that they will test. All right, it is a document, and currently I think we have about 26 tasks. And we are going to have time to look at all those tasks as we dive into the exam. Now, the PMP examination content outline will also dictate the composition of the PMP exam. We have 3 domains. These are what we call examination domains. The people domain, I told you the people domain has to do with managing, leading people. The people domain will take 33% of the project. The process domain will take 41% of the project, and the business environment will take 26% of the project. Altogether, this is 100% of the exam. I've been saying of the project so many times, sorry about that, of the exam. And also, the PMP exam is also divided across the 3 project management approaches. The project management approaches, as we shall learn going into the course, we have 3 project management approaches. The predictive development approach, the hybrid development approach, and the adaptive development approach. So 40% of the exam will be questions related to predictive ways of managing projects, and 60% will be in line with adaptive. And you can see more emphasis is being placed on adaptive, because adaptive has to do with the changing dynamics of the project environment. So we have frameworks that aligns with such kind of things. Don't worry about the depth of all this, you learn as we go into the course. So this is the PMP examination content outline. So you can see why it is important that you put so much emphasis on the processes. But that doesn't mean you have to forget the people and the business environment. They're equally important. And also, when you go for the PMP exam, what are some of the question types that you should expect? There are different question types and formats in the PMP exam, some of which you're going to meet will include multiple choice. So the 180 questions, you may have multiple choice where you have to select one correct answer. You will also have multiple choice enhanced with graphics. So here you still have to select one correct answer, but they may give you a graphic, okay? Or they can give you a description of a graphic. We shall be able to know about these, of course, when we start looking at some of the real PMP questions. You will also encounter what we call multiple select questions. This is where you select more than one correct answer. They may tell you to select 2 or select 3 or select 4, whatever the case may be. We have what we call case study or scenario. And on the new PMP exam, the scenario-based questions are the ones that takes the biggest percentage of your exam. So they will give you a scenario. Project manager Charles is running so and so a project. He has encountered such and such an issue. He has done this and that. Then they will ask you as a project manager, what should you do? Then they'll give you different options. Most of the time, all of these options will look like they are correct. So you have to now apply your mindset as a standard PMBOK project manager. Then you'll be able to answer and select the best answer. You're also going to encounter enhanced matching. You're going to encounter point and click. And also normal matching, where you have to match A to B, 1 to A, 2 to 3. If you remember during, I think, primary school days, you may also encounter it here. Then pull down list, like how we have drop down list and you select answers from the drop down list. So these are different examination formats that you will be able to encounter. And at the end of the class or during the course of the class, we'll be able to look into each of these different types of PMP exam question. All right. Now the question is, sometimes you may take the PMP exam and you don't pass. So what then if you do not pass? Now, if you take the PMP exam, God forbid, unfortunately, let's say you fail on your first attempt, do not worry. You still have 2 more attempts within that year to go back again and take the PMP exam. The only thing you're going to have to pay a retake fee of about $193, I think, within Uganda. Once again, remember, these fees can vary depending on which region you're in. So for people in the USA, they will definitely be paying more than us. Then after that, after you pay the retake fee, you will again schedule your PMP exam. Then when the day comes, please make sure you prepare this time well. Practice quite a lot of PMP questions. With practice makes perfect. Build the mindset Go and sit your exam and pass. At that point, you become PMP certified. But then I'm just giving you the worst case scenario. What if you fail all these 3 attempts that you have within a year? Then in that case, PMI will ban you for a year. It means you cannot take the PMP exam for the year, starting from the date when you failed your first exam. Rather, when you failed the last attempt, sorry. So you'll have to wait for another year, then you'll come back, you'll apply, you'll pay, you'll book, then you'll sit again. But of course, this is not something that is going to happen when you train with us. At least someone failing their first attempt makes sense, but someone failing their second and their third, now that means something is definitely wrong. Okay? So that is just for information. I don't pray that we'll reach at this point in time, and we may not reach it. Sometimes people think once you have the PMP certification, it is over. No, this is a professional certification. We expect you to continuously learn. So that is why the Project Management Professional Certification has a lifetime of 3 years. Now, within 3 years, your PMP certification will expire. All right? But then, what do you do to maintain so that your PMP certification does not expire in 3 years? You have to earn what we call PDUs. These are professional development units. And you're required to earn 60 PDUs within a cycle of 3 years. Okay? Within a cycle of 3 years. So that I think comes to about 20 PDUs per year, which is achievable. So you'll be asking yourself, how therefore can we earn these PDUs? You can earn it through learning. You can earn it through teaching others. For example, I am a PMP instructor. Every time I prepare instructional resources, I can claim PDUs on those things. You could also claim PDUs from presentations that you make, whether within organizations that you work for or within professional bodies. You can claim PDUs from reading articles. And most of the time, these PDUs can be automatically claimed if you read things within that are approved by PMI. So we have websites where you can do reading and you earn PDUs, like projectmanagement.com. All of these things you'll know once you become certified. You could also earn PDUs by volunteering. So if you join the local chapter, the Project Management Institute, the Uganda chapter, or in a chapter where you are, and you volunteer within these chapters, or even if you volunteer at a global scale, there are always volunteering opportunities. You will earn PDUs. Content creation also earns you PDUs. Giving back also earns you PDUs. So we shall have the opportunity also to talk about how can we earn PDUs and how can we actually claim these PDUs. Now the question is, what if the 3 years goes by and I don't have the 60 PDUs that is required? You're going to lose your certification. And once you lose your PMP certification, you'll go back to scratch. You have to resubmit your PMP application. You have to pay, schedule, and retake the PMP exam. Now, who wants to retake the PMP exam? The PMP exam is not a simple exam. No one would want to do that. It would be way easier earning the 60 PDUs instead of going back to take the PMP exam. So, after you've got the 60 PDUs, when the 3 years come, you'll only now pay $40. So you'll only pay $40 for your PMP certificate to be updated. Then you'll receive an updated PMP certificate with a new expiry date. And that happens every 3 years. So that is about maintaining your PMP certification. Okay? Now, that is everything about that I've prepared for you for today. Your journey, about the PMP exams, and everything that you need to know. We're going to be learning quite a lot still. Tips and tricks on how to pass the PMP during the class. Now, I know we don't have quite a lot of time, but I just want to welcome the students. I want them to share with us their testimonials. And for today, I had invited one of the students that is called Mr. Ntege Tadeo. Now, Ntege Tadeo is one of our students who attended the PMP Exam Prep Course last year. And his student number 001, by the way, he was one of our first students to ever enroll to our classes here at NewSkill. He has already told you he has a background, education background in Bachelor's of Arts with Education. He has about 12 years of project experience. Currently, he's working with Noon, which is an organization within the UAE, Dubai. So his job role, his core colleague, is going to tell us what this is about. He started this prep course just like you've started today. Mr. Tadeo started it in January 2025, and he completed this prep course in March 2025. Then he went ahead to sit for his PMP and got certified in May 2026, and he will tell us why is it that he completed the course in 2025 and yet he got certified in 2026. Hopefully we'll be able to share. Currently he's living in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. So I want to welcome Mr. Tadeo. If you can unmute and you can share with us what your journey of the PMP was like. What was your experience with the PMP exam prep course at NewSkill? And also when you went to do the PMP exam, what was your experience? What are some of the things that you can share to someone who is just starting this journey? How can you motivate them and give them the energy that they need to keep pushing until the end, until they become PMP certified? Okay, so let me welcome Mr. Tadeo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for this opportunity once again. Good evening, everyone. About my journey, the first thing I would like to emphasize that you guys are in the right place. I think I highly commend the professionalism of NewSkill and the entire team. And absolutely one of the reasons why I ended up finishing or getting certified was because of them. I remember every 2-3 months, Mr. Dongo would ask me, "What's up? What's the update? What is happening? Why are you not sitting? Any challenges? What do we do?" Along the way, there was a point I was like, no, I think I need not to finish this. But every time he could check on me, I felt like, okay, why is this meaning so important to him, and yet it's supposed to be more important to me? And then I remember one time I reached out to him, I think this year, and I told him, you know what, I am ready. I'm going to sit the exam. And then he was very prompt into like helping me instantly. We reapplied again because I think my application was yet to expire after 1 year. Reapplied again. He did everything without a cost or any challenges like I'm busy or what. So with NewSkill, I believe you guys are in the right hands. And then the way he handles the content, the classroom engagement, engage him as much as possible, because through your experiences, he is able to teach and then instruct and then guide us better, because I learned so much from the team on how to really, really be better at projects. Why I didn't do in 2025 is like I told you, the issue of adult learning is a bit challenging. There's a lot that comes in the middle. So at some point you feel like, okay, let me wait. And in 2026, I was like, I have to close on this. And then opportunities keep coming, and you realize that if I actually was PMP certified by the time I came to UAE, I would have actually gotten better opportunities. I knew the project knowledge, I had gone through the study sessions, but I didn't have proof that I was actually a certified project manager. So when I later on joined e-commerce, I realized that some of the challenges with the loopholes they had in their system or way of doing things, I had the knowledge, but I could not prove to them. And this greatly shaped the way I look and do things after the certification. You look at something and then you actually, from the PMP mindset, you know exactly where the root cause is, how to handle it, and how to go about it. For the first time within my department, I'm one of the people that has written over 3 projects to management on how to do corrective interventions in the different sections of our project, and it has never happened.
That's good.
And I
Congratulations.
believe, yeah, thank you. I believe this points to career growth. The way that you look at you, the way they tend to now understand where you're coming from. And in most cases, when there is a challenge, they say, okay, Adele, please do for us an RCA for this, and then you do something and you see it working and you see the problem not coming back, and then you're like, yeah, Mr. Bosco really did a good job. I'm glad I'm a certified project manager. And then along the way, the team that, for example, the class, I'd also commend Madama Kankunda. I remember when I just came to Dubai, she would always say, let's read, let's discuss. Through these discussions, you're able to at least handle a number of things. Now, going fast forward to how I manage the journey, one of the most important thing is the PMP mindset. You need to think like a PMP,
Yes.
like a certified project manager, not like Ndege and how you've been running your projects. No, you need to think like you need to adopt the PMP mindset, and all the questions that they ask are actually attributed to the mindset. When you understand the mindset, every question that comes, ask yourself one thing: if I'm a project manager certified, what would I do? If you get to know what to do, you definitely get the right answer. I'll give you one or two things like being a servant leader. So everything that talks about leadership, if you understand what being a servant leader means, you will definitely get the right answer. And then doing as much mock questions as possible. I think the hardest mock questions were the ones from Mr. Odong. I every time I read through them, I felt like I can't do this. I still need a lot. Why it is very important is when I finally reached the exam, it was actually a bit not as hard as it should have been, because at least I used to do the mock exams. Every day before I could sleep, I had to do at least 20 to 30 questions. If I fail, I would note down where my challenges are coming from. Then the next day I will read about them, then try again.
Yes.
So the mock examinations really do as much as possible. And then finally, about my experience doing the exam, I would honestly say it's the hardest piece of exam I've done in my whole life. It's very hard. It's very intense. Those 3 hours, it's a very wild experience. I actually got a fever during the exam. My stomach, because you would see questions and you clearly don't have a clue. You've not seen it anywhere, and then you have to tell yourself, relax.
Yes.
The instructor talked about doing from a study center. I did online, but I had so much challenges. First, in the first minutes they rejected my room, and they were saying remove this, remove that, remove this, and it took me over 30 minutes to a position where they finally accepted the environment around me. Now imagine, they told you once you're 30 minutes late, that is a lot of problem. Now you fail to log in, and then after accepting, the computer logged out because of delay. I had to log in. Logging in takes a lot of 10 minutes. So it was a lot. I started the exam with a lot of pressure, but all I could say is you need to calm down. And then the mindset of if everyone else has done it right, then I cannot fail. Because at that point, I saw some of the colleagues that kept on writing, we've done this, congratulations. I like, if so and so has done, then I think I can. Otherwise, it's a very beautiful experience. From that, it prompted me now to do CSCP, because I'm like, if I am PMP certified and then I'm CSP certified, then I'll be doing great. So that's the mindset. it means that we need to be willing to learn from each other and explore more opportunities. I think it was so hard, but I know you guys, with the instructor you have, you crack it. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. We will also do this. So if he can do it, why not you? You too can do it. Thank you so much. That is Mr. Dadeo. And I really appreciate you when I asked you to come in so that you can share what your journey was like. You were very willing to do this. So I'm happy. And we're also grateful because now the team, this team, unlike you, for you as student 001, there was no another student to come and share experience with you. So you started from zero, but now the likes of Rachel and Charles, they're starting from somewhere. So thank you so much for those insightful experiences where we can learn from. I also want to welcome Mr. Gordon. Gordon was also one of our students who attended last year, and he sat and he performed so well. He also got certified. And from him, he has lately been inspiring quite a lot of students who studied in this cohort and they've not yet taken the PMP exam. And out of his inspiration, many have gone ahead to try the PMP and they've passed as well. So I want to welcome him, though by the time I got what that is going to be part of us, I'd not prepared his profile. So he will just be able to give us his journey also briefly and some tips and tricks that you should know starting this PMP prep journey. So you're welcome, Mr. Gordon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bosco, and thank you so much, Tadeo. And I know I was with Tadeo and stuff was tight at that time. But I just want to again reiterate what you've said, and I may not spend much more time on what you've said because I know education journey or certification journey, I think it's almost the same. But my background and why I was inspired to do this course, for your own information, if not Bosco, I think I'm the only person from the medical side to get certified so far from your side.
Yes.
But if not, maybe even in most of the PMP classes elsewhere. So where I come from the medical side, but I wanted actually to do a PhD, but I said no, I don't think I need to do a PhD for this time. I have an MPHA, that's Masters of Public Health, and I'd already told you my journey in terms of responding to outbreaks and leading teams. But I just want to inform you that why I did this. There's a time there was a job and they actually needed a person of 30 years in terms of experience. And they wanted a master's at that time. But Gordon was studying a master's and he didn't have even 5 years of experience.
Yes.
But he applied for that job. Guess what? Gordon performed very well in that interview and he was the best. But something that brought him down was the age at that time, because Gordon didn't have the experience they wanted, but in the interview he performed very well. So to cut the story short, Gordon was cut short and there was given this job to a different person with those years. But just in 3 months, this person failed to perform out of the 30 years of experience. But Gordon was called on job to take this job at that time. And Gordon performed perfectly well than this team. And actually, what he began with was actually building the teams. And indeed, the project performed well at that time. And I know many things happened. But to cut the story short, is that I think we need to look beyond years. And indeed, you talked about it. The PMP is a global recognized certification. If it was there, I think Gordon would have gotten a job even at the first time. And my journey of PMP, of course, I was with Tadeo, and it was a great team through discussions here and there, encouraging each other. But to cut my story short is that when we did a mock exam, I failed for the first time. I think, I failed. Yes, I failed, but I said, how can I fail a mock even before I started the journey? But me, when I failed, and it was the first time in my life to fail, I've never failed an exam. So when I sat down, I re-examined, and indeed I found that I overthought in this exam. Sometimes I think we don't need overthink. Indeed, when I looked through, I said, no, I need to redo it. But when I did the exam, I think I didn't give that thought, overthinking, and indeed I passed very well.
Yes.
So apart from what Tadeo has said, and I said I won't repeat, it's just through discussions with your colleagues, and also not overthinking in that context, or just think how PMP is not the way you've been doing stuff. And I know Bosco because I've recommended even many, because I know Bosco is really a great deal. If you really want to pass, get to understand how Bosco teaches. So after that, getting certification, many things happened at work. One was that I was promoted from project manager to director at that level. But
that's good.
for your information, I am the youngest director in that organization. Why? Because of many things that have happened. And of course, not about the promotion, but the way we've been doing things. Just an example, I have one staff who comes at 6 a.m. in the morning, and this person leaves at 6 p.m. in the evening. But at the end of the day, when you ask for a delivery by the end of the month, you did not get any deliverable. And Gordon is leading that team of about 100 professional staff. So out of learning this PMP, I was able to handle complex projects, complex people. And no wonder this person, we retained him and is working with the team because we just learned his strength over his weakness. And is performing very well. You just send him in the meetings. The person speaks good English because he's from Budo, but he's part of the team.
Yes.
And we don't just leave that person because we also have, he has children, he has what he does. I mean, he needs to survive. So out of the teachings beyond class, I think PMP is a very great deal, colleagues, because out of that, I think my boss, I'm encouraging my boss because he does not have PMP. And it was interesting when the ambassador was visiting us and they looked around and said, Gordon has this niche, he can take it up. And it was a very successful visit. Hosting the ambassador of the US, and many things happened there. And I just want to thank Bosco and my colleagues, Tadeo. I think Tadeo was the first person to get a PMP in our cohort, and he encouraged us. So there are many things that are happening. Then at the African continent, after getting PMP, now I was also elevated as the African subject matter expert in those things of Ebola.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah, so I really don't take this for granted. And I know many things gonna happen. And I see many adverts, they are talking about PMP in our pathways. And so, colleagues, let's take this very seriously. And we are here to support you where necessary because we've gone through this. And I know you also go through that. So with this, I beg to stop here because I know time is already eaten up.
Yes.
But you're on the right path, especially with the NewSkill and Bosco himself. Over to you, colleagues.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So many good words, so many achievements, a lot of things to celebrate. I just want to say congratulations for all of this. And you know, one thing about me also, I am a prayerful person. I believe in God, so I'm a Christian, if I can say. When you encounter with me, I want to believe in a higher purpose aside from, you know, just studying these and getting the certifications. But there are some people or there are some places that when you associate with, you cannot live the same, provided that you're open to receiving such kind of energies. When interface with NewSkill, we expect you to be better than you came to us. So just know, aside from just teaching, we pray for our students. Also, you know, for God to expand their territory. So don't get surprised when after completing and getting PMP, you're receiving promotions from nowhere. All right, thank you so much. Now I'm going to open up just a brief Q&A session, and I expect each and every one of us to come out. If you have any questions, please do ask. Even if you don't have a questions, maybe you just want to make a point. As we wrap up this session, you're also welcome to make that point. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to guide that by calling on to each and every one of us one at a time to make the final remarks, whether questions or just a point of commendation, so that we can close this. Looking at time, not a good friend right now. So I will start off with Mr. Brian Akesima. So if you can just unmute, you can tell us about how the session was, and if you have any question, be sure to ask. You're welcome.
No, hello.
Hello.
Good evening once again. Thank you very much, John Bosco. I want to appreciate Gordon and Intege. In fact, you called on me when I was sending a message to Tadeo, thanking him and appreciating him for his presentation and taking us through his experience. It has been quite insightful, and I'm more excited for what is to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, that's Brian. He's already energized and looking forward to the real thing, which is great. I also want to welcome Mr. Charles from Electoral Commission to also share with us what his experience with the session was today, and if there is any question he may want clarity on, this is the time to ask. You're welcome, Mr. Charles.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
I would really appreciate for the elaborate presentation and for the experiences, and I'm very much ready.
Yes.
And for the takeoff.
So you see, he has used a very nice language there. You can now see these are the people who have been on planes. So he's talking of takeoff, you know. So it begins at a slow pace when the plane is rolling on the runway, and before you realize the plane is up in the air. So Mr. Charles is ready for the takeoff, and we are definitely going to do that. And let me also welcome to Shabe at this point in time, to also have if you have any questions or any point you want to make before we close off. Mr. Sousas, you're welcome.
First of all, thank you for tonight's session. I'm so happy to be part of this. I've had from all the presentations, and it's really a good start, and it tells a lot about what we're about to learn from each other. Maybe what I forgot to mention in my expectations, should we expect to learn on how we can apply in this generation of AI? Should we expect on how to employ AI or apply it in trying to be better planners and managers? Yeah, it was such a beneficial session, I guess, to all of us. Thanks a lot.
That is Mr. Sousas. Thanks a lot, our civil engineer in the room. And I want to get back to his question, how we can apply this information in this age and day of AI so that we can better manage our projects. So the whole point of the revision, why we are calling this the new PMP, so for those who sat within the old exam that was retired effective 8th July. That was about 2 days. There were no concerns in regards to AI. So AI has been around, but now with the global adoption of AI within organizations, PMI as the leading body in creating standards, so that it is important that they also create standards and frameworks to help govern artificial intelligence within organizations. So we have a complete certification when it comes to AI. It's called CPMAI, Certified Professional Manager, I think, for Artificial Intelligence. But also, as a member, you also have introductory courses in how you can apply AI, things like prompt engineering into your day-to-day project activities. Then also Beth mentioned that PMI has their own AI model, what we call PMI Infinity. Now, this to me is the one sure way or the first step that you can start using AI. So if you've been using, maybe DeepSeek, ChatGPT, as others know, you can actually now start using PMI Infinity, which is another GPT, if I can say, another ChatGPT, but actually only for doing project work, project management. So think of anything in line with project management. It has been trained with the data and the knowledge, standard practices, and information from PMI to actually generate responses or do work that are project management related. So think of creating templates, think of solving project management dilemmas and all that. You can be able to do that with that tool. But that is when you're a member. And of course, within the course, we shall have opportunities to also make mentions of some AI concerns. And of course, as you practice your exam questions, you'll encounter some questions in regards to AI and how you can harness the power and potential of that. So thank you so much, Mr. Celsius, for that. And then I want to welcome Rachel. And before we close this, because I think Ntege has already given us her regards, the same also for Mr. Gordon. And I think I'm going to welcome, before that, let me welcome Brenda just to say a word of remark, because she's also going to be joining us to refresh our content. So maybe you can just, if any questions you do have or any commendations before Rachel closes this off.
All right. Thank you so much, our instructor. Today, I have confidence that very soon I will also be sharing my testimonies about how I have got certified and the impacts that it will have done for my career. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So you can see how people's testimonies can fuel first your desire, your commitment, and even grant you the energy to push forward. Any wise man, of course, will take a successful story of another man and turn it into fuel for his own success. So, and that is why Tadeo was here, and that is why Mr. Gordon was here. Thank you so much for that inspiration. It's just a very powerful burst of energy as we begin, as Charles said, as we take off. All right, with that said, let me therefore welcome Rachel, who is going to be the last person. Any questions or any final points you'd like to put across before we close? You're welcome, Madam Rachel.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I would like to say I'm grateful that I'm able to be in this class. And let me also send a special shout out to Mr. Arnold. He actually is the one who recommended me to you when I told him about my interest to actually get the project management professional certification. So I'd like to say thank you. And also, I also relate, or should I say, thank God that I'm here, because when you talked about you praying for your students, I related with that, because I believe when you have a leader who is also putting God first, it also opens more doors, because at the end of the day, God is the one who opens the doors and, gives all the blessings. So I thank God that you also pray for us. Then I look forward to engaging with everyone, especially those that have already gotten the certification. I look forward to engage with you so that we can be able to have a testimony at the end of the session. Yeah. And maybe I have a question.
Yes.
In regards to how to earn the PDUs.
Yes.
If you've actually practiced, let's say, learning or reading or teaching, do you actually submit it onto a PMI, or how do they get to know that you've actually, fulfilled any of these? Yeah, that is where my question is. So if you can throw more light, that would also be good. Otherwise, thank you so much. I look forward to learning more, and yeah.
Thank you so much, Rachel, and thank you for the great work you're doing in the real estate. And I'm happy to know that you relate quite well with, of course, the prayers we do have for you. And in regards to your question, I think what we're going to do, just for the sake of time, I'm going to share with you a video. It's a YouTube video that you'll be able to watch. It's a very short video on how you can actually do this. But to answer you, we have what we call there's a website still part of PMI that you can log on these PDUs, but that is even a hard way of doing it. PMI has an application, so when you download this application, simply by downloading it, you already get PDUs. So by downloading this application, that will earn your PDU. Then with this application, it will become so easy for you to log your PDUs. So you download the application, you sign into the application using your PMI account that you've created for free. Then you can log your PDUs. And you should be honest about this. But to log these PDUs, you also have to have skills. You have to understand, because they will ask you, okay, if you want to log, let's say, 10 PDUs. Now, 10 PDUs equates to about 10 hours, let's say, of learning or volunteering, whatever the case may be. You have to divide these PDUs into the 3 different domains. You have to divide it across process, people, and business environment. So don't worry about this. When the time is right, once you've completed your course, you'll definitely even have a more in-depth session on how we can maintain our PMP certification. But that is just high level in a nutshell. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, thank you. We don't have Arnold here. I think he's skipped out, but he will as well be joining us. He's also taking a refresher so that he can also prepare and sit his PMP exam. This time we will make sure he really does it, because most of the time people start with so much desire to get the work done and complete it, but then along the way, for whatever reasons, maybe pressures from family, maybe they're very busy at work, maybe financial constraints, whatever the case may be, they don't get to finish it. But this time, with this team, we shall make sure we get to the end where everyone is PMP certified. So now, going forward, I'm calling you to commit so that we can be PMP certified. So what you're going to do, Saturdays and Sundays are learning times. Try as much as possible to block your calendar, Saturdays and Sundays, from 9 a.m. to 1:30 for the next 6 weeks. This is now you being intentional about getting certified, right? And if you can't show up within these times, take the initiative to communicate. We shall have the class group. Just post it there, or you can send me a direct message. Also, inform your friends and family about this journey that you have started. This way, in case of any support, you can receive it. So if you have a wife, if you have a husband or a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, let them know. Maybe sometimes you'll be studying, they need to give you a quiet space, they need to give you a cup of coffee, they just maybe need to give you emotional support, whatever the case may be. Don't do this alone. Have someone to support you. And also, after today, after this orientation session, complete your enrollment process. So reach out to me, make sure you're fully enrolled to the class for those who have not yet completed, so that you can have access to the study materials and you can start learning immediately. All right. And I also want to, after we start the class, have a clear study plan. You can say maybe every day I'm going to dedicate, 30 minutes to studying, or every week I'm going to study 3 times within the week for 1 hour. So those are 3 hours in a week. Kind of have a study plan so that the weeks don't just go by and you realize you're not actually studying. Then finally, if you have any question, any point that you need clarity on, reach out to the instructor, and that is me. I am available on my WhatsApp. You can call me. I have the phone number. Anytime, I'll be happy to pick up your call and answer to your question. So champions, let the journey begin. So I appreciate you all. And this brings us to the end of our orientation session. I wish you the best in the next 6 weeks and in the journey of becoming PMP certified. And along with PMI and NewSkill, we are happy to see you in the first lesson to begin our PMP exam prep course. Thank you so much once again, and see you there. And may the good Lord protect you. Bye-bye.